Yes, hello and welcome to AutoCAD for Architecture student. In this lesson, I'm covering sections because many of my students asked about how to draw proper sections in AutoCAD. I mean, these days, back in the day, we used to draw all sections in AutoCAD, but nowadays I'm advising them to go and learn other more productive softwares like Revit, which they update the section if you apply some changes. I mean, for technical drawing, at the end of the day, you can bring it into AutoCAD and you can draw the section much easier. But AutoCAD is just for, these days, just for making sure that everything is in place, for defining better line thicknesses, and just to prepare the printouts. Although Revit is getting there more and more, better and better every day. So for section, please go learn Revit because it's easier, it's more productive, and it's a better use of your time. It will give you the sections, and then you can bring the section into AutoCAD, and you can work on it, and you don't have to spend as much time struggling with the section, because section in AutoCAD is a tedious job. Anyway, so they asked me how to draw section BB. I'll show you how to draw. Let's say if it's a 4-story building and they have a parking in the at the ground level. Now, to do that, I will rotate the drawing by using the view cube because I want to bring my line down. You can start drawing the section here, but it will look weird. Now, I turn it around. All right, now. Yeah, the section sign should look up. Now we're looking at this direction. I'm going down. Now I usually come here. I add a layer called guidelines. Oh, sorry about that. My spelling is horrible. Okay, now I usually change the color of this layer to something very grayish because I don't want to overpower everything else, and I always turn the printing off. Okay, now what you want to do, you want to go to that layer guidelines. It's good to have a layer guidelines, just like drawing a real paper. You can start drawing lines down, but that's not the best way of doing this. There's this command called ray. Ray is a line that like starts from one point and just goes to infinity, basically. Yeah. So I'm using the command ray enter. You can do it with, and I go and start doing first. I start with the parts that I'm actually cutting. Okay, so I'm cutting this part, I'm cutting this part here. Or you can pick the line and start copying this and put it where we're actually cutting the building. So it will be here and here. Alright, so these looks fine. I make the lines that are cutted usually. This is your workflow, this is my workflow. So you can define your own thing. So usually I change the color or line style of these to something a little bit more visible. So if my drawing is usually darker gray, I will put this in 1 step or 2 step lighter gray. Now, the next lines will be the lines that I don't cut but I see in elevation. So I have one here. Where is my line? Where is the section line? Okay, so basically let's find this. So we have the door here, very good, and then we have the steps. Sorry about that, we cut the steps actually, but anyway, so because there are too many of them, let's keep it as is. Okay, now nothing else. If your structure is exposed, you can go ahead and add your exposed structure. Now, after I'm done finishing these lines, I'll come here and I'll draw my ground line. If you have specific topography, go ahead and like put the topography, but make sure that you are going into proper layer. I mean, usually in the layer wall. Let's say I don't have a specific topography here. Let's make this wall a little bit thinner so you can see it better. 35. Okay, now I start to draw. Basically I'll start from the ground floor and then I will go up. I like to do the staircase first because it gives me the height, and if the staircase formula is there, we know that these steps are 70 centimeters. It will give us the height properly. So I'll just draw a polyline. The level of detailing is also very important. That's why I'm talking about Revit, because Revit can adjust these things better than AutoCAD. So now this is my step. I'm drawing a polyline. This is the part that I'm cutting as far as I saw. So make sure I'm cutting this part. So the first flight I'm cutting, the second razor I'm not cutting. So it comes up 17 centimeters and goes here. But be careful, because it will not stay here, because we have 5 centimeter nose of the stair. So it will go more than that. So I'm clicking here, I go 5 more. And this is it. And now I have to put the nose here. Let's say PL again, 5, 5, 5. Let's go ahead and trim this. So I have 2 lines here now. You remember the poly edit. I'm selecting this, clicking on poly edit, PE enter. I'm using the command join. Let's say this one, and this one, enter. And now this is one line, so I can easily later on modify it. So copy this. Maybe before copying it, we can start thinking about our ballistry. So if you have a modular system, you can do the ballistry, but I will do that later. So let's say from here to here to here. After you've done a few, you can just copy more of them, and you can go ahead and put them. I'm doing a mistake here. Am I? Yes, I'm doing a mistake here, because the line that it shows on the drawing is actually from here, so I don't have to go 5 centimeters. I'm already 10 centimeters in, so let me trim this extra part out, and let me offset this 5 out and extend that line. Alright, so sorry about that. I mean, these are mistakes, regular mistakes. Don't be afraid. Like, try to fix it as soon as you can. I mean, you realize that you are making a mistake, and then you can fix it the quickly as you can, because if it goes on and you don't notice it, it will create more and more confusion. So let's go ahead and do it like this. So this is our last step, the last line that we see. Let's extend this line. Okay. Now the steps, you want to go from here to here, offset this 20 out. It depends on your type of structure system. Like here I'm using a concrete system. And then go ahead and offset also this one. And let's say fillet these two together. Type of the foundation is also up to you. I mean, here I'm using a if you're cutting the foundation, let's say 50, 30. And then, because each step when it reaches the ground, they'll have a kind of a foundation under it. Okay. Alright, so this is it. Now I'll just select everything and I mirror it. I'll copy it. Let's say not mirror it. Okay, I'll copy this as the flight of stair that I have. I mirror it. Let's select this, put it in layer elevation, move it from here to where our next step starts. So this will be it. Actually, we'll have it here. Alright, so let me go back to layer elevation. So same procedure, offset 20, 20, fillet, extend, and this line doesn't actually exist in reality here. I mean, it exists, but it depends on the here. We will add something here. I mean, if you're cutting and you're trying to draw a kind of system detail here, it's nice if you can draw your more like detailed structure. So if you add a layer called, like, I don't know, detail or something, and let me go ahead and change this also to my lower range of line thicknesses. You can start define more thicknesses here. You can define more details here. So like if you know the type of stone that you are going to use, if you know the profile of the stairs, so you can put something here. then you have to change the cut line, and you have to show like, okay, this is coming under this one, and then we have another line here. So there is a lot of things that you can do here with this stair. So I'm just showing you the very basically how to draw the outline. How to draw the more details of it, it's very clear. It depends on your type of construction, type of stairs. This is not a construction 2 course in my university that covers those things. You have to go and learn by yourself. Okay, now coming from those courses, because if I say something here and it doesn't match with your textbook, I don't want to confuse my own like students and get into a feud with my colleagues. Alright, so you go ahead and check your construction textbook and put the type of stairs that you have here. Sometimes even when we were drawing, you even add these like tiny parts that are added for the friction and those kind of stuff here. I mean, it's up to you. Like if you have a profile, sometimes even you enlarge this part and show it as a kind of a detail, but it will not be visible at this scale. Maybe if you draw 1/20 or 1/10, it will be visible. Because in 1/100, we don't deal with anything smaller than 5 centimeter basically. Even some people say 10, but 10 was back in the day, which we were drawing by hand. Now the printout can show anything 0.5 millimeter, which will be 5 centimeter easily. Alright, so okay, this is the stairs. I have let's say this will be my slab for the first floor. Maybe your slab for the first floor not be 20 centimeter, maybe it will be 30. So go ahead and adjust that according to, again, I mean, at the end of the day, some of these are your suggestions. You put them there, and for the final draft, after the civil engineer will give you the measurements, you will update it according to the civil engineer's measurements. Let me go ahead and remove this line here, so make it look better. Alright, now you have to go ahead and put the walls where the walls are due. So like let's say which part we are cutting here. The elevator will have a shaft. This is a closet, so it doesn't exist on the ground floor. It will start in the first floor. So let's say because I'm planning to copy this, make sure which line is. So this first line is for the door. This is actually the wall. So the wall comes here. This will go all the way up. Should be in layer wall. You can define another layer for your section. This one also we cut, and then here we also cutting this part. So first I have to go and draw, because we have to draw the first floor before we can copy everything a couple of times and finish the drawing. So let me go ahead and copy this up. From here to here, but then here we don't have this foundation. Let me go ahead and trim this. Get rid of the extra lines. E-enter for erase. Let me go and fillet this together. Okay. This part we're cutting, so I'm not seeing this part as well. This will be our first floor. Yeah, that's about right. Okay, now we have a very good estimate of how it looks. Let me go ahead and put these also together, because I want to create a kind of a perfect module for this. The slab will not come inside the elevator. Let me, I can move the dimension line a little bit. Let's say we have the door for the elevator. It makes our job a little bit, make the drawing a little bit more interesting. So let's say 250. And then I remove this. And I make sure that this line is in the layer wall actually. Okay. Now, because I will copy this, let me make sure that these lines also extend. Alright, now for the first floor, we finish the ground floor and first floor, and then we just select everything and start copying it up. Now let's go and add something else here. Let's copy this. I mean, I usually do the balustry before I go to this stage. But anyway, so let's see how we can do this. So here, imagine you have a regular balustry. Let me draw a P line, a polyline. Let's go 95, something like this. Let me do the beginning. And let me do the end. Okay. Then this will come here. Offset. I mean, okay, let's make it smaller. Doesn't look bad, but okay, let's go for 10. So this is how it looks actually. So I'm removing this part. I'm removing this part also. I mean, usually you want to have all of these, especially because you're designing for safety and for children. So you don't want to leave gaps. If even the secondary lines are there to protect children, because they will come and they will start running on the stairs, and you don't want to have that in your conscious. So definitely all the time you will provide this, and you will provide also a secondary one. You can go middle to middle. So even at least put it in your drawing, even if you are not the actually final producer of the project, put it in your drawing, because it will save lives. I mean, there are many incidents that this happens. So the secondary one is often a little bit smaller, and you can even have it between those. So I mean, it depends on the type of detailing you are doing. You can go ahead and just get rid of these middle lines. It's a little bit tedious job, but then what is not in architecture? Sometimes when you go to a firm and you find a job, you will find yourself doing this for days after days after days, and you start to have existential crisis, and you start to think, okay, why the hell did I start doing architecture? But it will go away. So this part you are cutting in front of the second razor, so you just have to go ahead and remove this. You know, like it's not a pretty job, but anyway, so you have to go ahead, and when this comes into contact, you will get rid of the line, because we can't see it actually. It's behind those lines, and you want to give that sense of proper, like, okay, depth, that these are in front of each other. Alright, so this is it. Now I'll go and this is in layer detail, which is actually pretty good, okay, because I don't want this to be very dominant in the drawing. So let me go ahead, copy this, because we cannot have it only for one side. Let's copy this. The same idea goes for the detail of the staircase. Do it before copying it. So if you do one proper and you copy it, you don't have to go through the hustle of later on adding everything. Oh, sorry about that. Mirror. Do you want to keep the original object? What I'm saying? No. Erase. Yes. Okay. Sorry about that. Mirror. Why? Okay. Yes. Please remove the original object. Okay. I'm moving this from here to here. I mean, let's put it together to have less difficulty. Okay, now if it's confusing, you can always turn your layer guideline off, and you can go ahead and sorry about that. This has to come up. Okay. And that's why I'm telling you to go and do these things in Revit, because you will see the difference. You don't have to do many of these things anymore these days. Okay, this will go up and continue. Okay, even here, so here we have to clean it up because we don't see that part. Okay, you can go ahead and you do it with source, but I'm doing it the lazy way. Alright, so this looks okay. Now we have to copy it for the other stairs as well. What you can do, like if the details, this is the only detail part that I have. This is another lesson. You can go right click and go to quick select. So quick select, I'm saying with the layer equal to which layer, the detail. I'm pressing OK. I select everything. So learn how to work with quick scale as well. CO, it comes from here up to here. Now everything looks fine. This, don't worry about this. When we copy everything, it will be fixed. Okay, now what else? So we have everything ready. We will add this wall as well. So let me go ahead and turn on my layer guideline. So PL, let me start with something in the foundation. I'll go here. I'm not in layer. Oh my god. Okay, I did change this. Please open the tab. Okay, I'm going to layer wall. PL, go down here. 50. Learn to work with polyline. 20. I'm coming up here. You have to know where the height the height of the window. So let's say it starts 100 centimeter from here, and then you have to figure the detailing of the window. So that's also up to you. So I'm moving this up 150. I'm just drawing the outline of the staircase. If you want to add more details, I'm repeating, this is not a technical drawing course. So here, if you have, again, construction detail, you don't show it like this. You go and show it something like that, so you'll be able to hatch it easier. So like if you have a 50 centimeter, I don't know, kind of a beam for the stair, or the type of construction that you are doing, you go ahead and like do it according to that. Alright, so let me copy that as well. With this one from here to here. This part is excess part. Okay, let me get rid of that. Now for the window, let me go to the layer window. You can basically use your because this is same with the plan. I mean, the profile usually goes along. You can adjust it and put it there. So let me copy this window. We will not have the middle part, of course. And then depends on the type of the window. Here you might have some overhang, you might have something else, you might have a kind of a I'm using command stretch to bring it to place properly. So you might have something else here. I mean, again, it's all up to what you are planning to do with your design. So let me like have it 10 centimeter higher here. And let's say I have something else here, 10 out. Let's say even 20 out. It helps with the rain, and it helps with the protection of the wall over time. So let me, although we are cutting it, maybe put it together with layer wall. Okay, so you can have something like that. It's up to you. Now, what else? Okay, the door. You can go and find some good doors. You can go find block doors. You can go find the catalog in the company that you are working, and they probably have a catalog for doors and windows and type of stuff that you will be preparing there. So offset 5. So in a working drawing, you will actually write down what kind of door is this. You will provide the details related to door. So let's say this is coming up 100, and then going in 10. How the door opens. You can have your door handle, your door hardware. Usually you show it where it opens. So you show where the hinges are. So the hinges are here. The door opens like this, and this line needs to be a dotted line. Okay, so this door opens like this. Alright, so we have another door here. For the elevator door, I'm not doing something crazy here. You can go ahead, and I'm just offsetting these lines to show that there is a type of door here. So you can go find details for that. It depends on your type of the project that you are working on. This is my main entrance to the building here. And then we do one floor, and then we try to go up from here. Make sure that you put this foundation for the elevator, because this will be important again. Let me go to the layer wall, polyline, of 50. I mean, maybe even longer. So let's say 100, because we will have the elevator well here, and it will not look like this. So let's say go 100. You just have to. You should provide this some of this information, because there will be actually a line here. Okay, now this part again depends on the type of if it's sitting on the ground, your structure, or how it works, or how you design it. It's up to you. It's up to you what your teachers will tell you how to do this properly. I'm not doing this because I don't want to interfere with other courses. I'm covering this for a university course anyway. Alright, so now I'm selecting everything. Let me put the door here on the upper level as well, because that's what we are going to copy. So here to here. Let me finish this, and let's put just one line here as a reference point that the floor will be here, and maybe even the structure we can see it. We can see the beams probably. I'm not sure. I'm not putting anything, just not to. And here in the first floor, because we have to finish the first floor. It's not only here. We will have this part as well. So it will go up where it ends. You can find it with the staircase. So let's say from here, this will be the slab. I'm assuming that everything everywhere is similar, so it might not be the case. You might have different types of stairs here. You might have the ground floor lower than anywhere else, but here I assume that it is the same. Okay. What did they do? Okay. Now, alright, now we'll get to the part that we will refine the drawing, and we will copy it up. Alright, so here, let me get rid of this line. I want to select something that I need to repeat it. Okay, so all these lines, and then I'll get rid of these. You can have some of them on top of each other, and then we can use remove duplicate to remove the ones that are going on top of each other. Please don't kill me if you don't agree with this, but we can use that easily. It's not something that we can't do. We can do that really easily. So I'm picking all these lines, and I'm just going copy CO from here to here. Oh, I did make a mistake. Okay, from here to where? Sorry about that. Let me select again with this one. Let me see which line I have prepared here. Okay, I have this one, this one, this one. Okay, let's say this is enough. Now some we have to go and adjust them manually. So this one will come here, this one will come here. Now I'll have to go and fix some of these mistakes. I can get rid of my guidelines, and I can start to fix some of these issues that I'm having here, because I think I made a mistake here. This will not be here. It will go something more like this, and that's why again I'm saying go learn for the section, go learn Revit. I haven't done the section in AutoCAD for a very long time now these days, because this is really very difficult to manage section. And here you'll have the roof. So again, one last time, the window will come here, and one last time, let's say this is I just want to see where this line is. You can pick any reference point. So this part I don't want it, and I don't want this part as well. Yes, even this one is extra. Okay, now, so this part is the rooftop. So we will have a room for the staircase. I mean, if you have a last floor plan or a roof floor plan, you will find where it is. I mean, I'm guessing that it's similar to the staircase. So here I will have this line comes up, this line comes up, and then I will have them fill it for now, because we have to add the parapet wall for the roof. When filleting, make sure that you're picking the longer side of the wall, and again for the elevator shaft as well. This will come up. It will not end there. So here, this will be where the engines are. Let's say we have a 90 centimeter parapet wall here. 20. Yes, let's use this one here. 90. Go down and go ahead and clean, just like you do with the plan, and then use extend to connect all these lines. Yes, let's see how high is this part. This 180 is not enough, not at all. So let me select these lines, and move it 100 higher, and let me fix this. Okay, sorry, this is getting long. I don't have I can't talk about everything. It's just the job. I mean, it's just something that is our burden. We have to do it and I mean, this is you can listen to music while doing it, or you can listen to an audiobook while you're doing it. I did actually extend this by mistake. Okay, 30. Bring it down. We will have our last balustrade here. And then these ones we want to fix. We can remove the duplicate later on. Okay, so to my students who are asking why drawing section is so difficult, is because it is difficult. It's not. There's no easy way out. If you do it in Revit, it will be a little bit less, less tedious than this. We'll have a parapet wall here, let's say 90, 20, and then you will have the elevation line. Usually you have a detail here as well. For the parapet wall, you will have a stone here or something to cover it up. Usually we show it in 1/100, even it's visible because it's around 5 centimeters. So you will have something. I'm just eyeballing it because I don't want to waste your time. So you'll have something here. Same thing you will add here at the top of this. Of course, for this also we'll have, because this is a elevator. 9, 20 here. This one might go up 50, offset 30, because you'll need some space here to put everything. Again, this you will check with the mechanical engineer later on. You will check with the civil engineer, and then you go ahead and start cleaning up the drawing. Don't usually, and I didn't have this plan is like this. We don't usually cut it through spaces like this because it will start to look somewhat weird at the end of the day. Anyway, so let's see if I've already fixed. Let me fix one of these. Copy it. If I had some time and I could plan it, I could do it a little bit smarter than this and just avoid this additional, if I made a perfect selection of the lines. Okay, now this looks about right, and this is how you do section in AutoCAD. You just use raise, you bring the line down just like you do in your paper drawings with T-square and everything. It doesn't have a magic wand that creates the section on its own, and you have to go ahead and start adding as much detail as you can. Here for the stair, I said you can do a more detailed drawing of the first step, and then you can have your layers of the foundation and everything. So offset, I don't know, 2 centimeters. Like somehow finishing here, and then under it you will have 5 centimeters of like concrete, and then under it you have the base stonework for the adjustment, slope adjustment, and those kind of things. So you go ahead and put this, but don't put everything in layer wall or layer the section. If you have it, you can have a layer detail, a smaller layer, and you can add your detailing as well. You can add people here if it's a presentation drawing. And what else you can do? Usually in section, it looks very nice if you go ahead and hatch the section. So the cutted part, usually press H, enter. Okay, this one looks okay. If your drawing is clean and you click, you can easily pick it. It seems that mine was not, but it also depends on your graphic card. If you have a good graphic card, it's usually easier to hatch this kind of stuff. So let me go ahead and put this, go to layer hatch, and go close to area that you want to hatch. If you go far beyond, it will not be able to, because it's working with the graphic card basically. This is what it's trying to do. Let me first do these parts. You see, when I'm too far behind, it will not do it justice. Okay, let me see. I have to fit it in the window as much as I can. Okay, now it's okay. Again, here you don't have to do it one by one. You can just make one and copy it up. Or the hatch also works perfectly. Not for this one. For this one we have to go and hatch it. Oh, we are already entering our drawing area. don't be greedy while hatching. So don't try to hatch everything at once. Just go out and in and try to break it into pieces, because if it's too big, and if you're like me and you don't have a very good computer, it might create some difficulty for you. Alright, so I'm hatching these. You might have a different hatch for where you cut the staircase and you cut the walls. So you might have different hatches here, or foundation in that matter. I'm just doing something here. And I always like to go ahead and add a kind of a strong ground after you finished your layering of the foundation, of course. I'm just here showing an example of how to use hatches. Okay, here, let me go ahead and put these. Okay, now I'm hatching. Instead of selecting a pick point, I'll select an object, and then I go ahead and find the hatch which is suitable for ground. Which one was it? This is it. No, that's not it. Yeah, this is it. Okay, put it to 45 degrees, make it 10, let's say 5. Okay, now get rid of the extra line outside. Alright, now let's go ahead and let me remove this for now. Let's go ahead and print this. Sections are essential architectural drawings, so I prefer to work more on sections than I prefer to for my presentation, because they show the level of architectural integrity, and they show that you're capable of designing in section, which is really important. Let me see, I have to convert my plot style, because I was teaching how to convert plot style before and it's not on. Let me see. Yes. Okay. Control P. If you remember, I already defined something for 100. So previous plot 1/100, my style, preview, and you can see it looks just fine. Maybe that level of detailing with the staircase nose and everything more suitable for 1/50, but it looks okay. Well, the more detail you add to this, you can go ahead and find sections of the elevator. Okay, usually for these kind of things I don't do it here. I go like search for I'll go ahead and search for the, let's say, elevator block Auto Cad. Let's say if we can find something. Most of them, they probably have a price tag, but let's go ahead. For balustry and those kind of things, also you can come to these websites and you can find a good blog for your elevator. For example, even for the plan, you can see it's called elevator or elevator doors, or how you put it, or even escalators and those kind of things. So you don't have to draw this from the scratch. You can come here and you can find very good examples, and you can copy them in your project. The only important part is that you have to be careful. These are the plans. You have to be careful not to mess up your layering system. You want to make sure that you change everything to layer 0. You bring it there, and then you put it in the proper layer. That's the important part. That's the most important part, I believe. So let's see. I think I have a section here. Okay, let's look at this section. Let me show you how to do it. Okay, so you open the section. This is on the printout. Okay, so I mean, you see the different typologies here. You can find many good examples. You have to make sure, like for example, if this is it, you want to bring it over there, you have to use you have to select it properly, and then even when we don't have these lines there. Anyway, you have to make sure that it goes into layer 0, Control Shift C. You go to your own drawing. Where is which one is this? Is this one? Okay. I couldn't select it properly. Okay. No. I've done something here. Okay. So you select it, Control Shift C, give it here a reference point, come to your drawing, put it here. As you can see, this one is being drawn in millimeter, although we are drawing in centimeter. So I'm rotating this, RO enter, and then I'm scaling it down 10 times. Let's get rid of these. Let's get rid of these. I already have the walls. I don't want extra walls. I want to see the doors, these doors. So this is the idea. So you will find something and you adjust it to your project. Let me get rid of these. Not these. So I would spend some time cleaning this up and making sure that it will work with my style. I can even make it a block if I want to. Give it a name. I don't have time. You come here and you say, okay, this will start from here. And if you remember, we already had this line in the previous line. Okay, so you can have something here in your section to show that the elevator is there, and you can find good examples of these type of blocks in this website. Alright, so that's it for the sections. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in the class hopefully.